Now, during a speech in New Hampshire stumping for Hillary Clinton, her husband, Bill Clinton, former president, brought out some heavy criticism of Senator Sanders. Now, that, of course, is the Bernie bro phenomenon. I mean, that's one of the major things that he hit Senator Sanders on, and that's what I'm going to discuss today. Now, he said that she and other people who have gone online to defend Hillary Clinton to explain why they supported her have been subject to vicious trolling and attacks that are literally too profane, often not to mention sexist, to repeat. Now, the Bernie bro phenomenon, right? Now, I haven't done a lot of stories on this. Why? Because there's no there to it. Now, let me explain. See, the Bernie bro narrative was picked up by some outlets on the left, right? Now, that narrative is actually based on some misreporting and essentially it's a chain. And let me explain. Now, it was first picked up by a Mashable article titled, quote, "The bros who love Bernie Sanders have become a sexist mob." Okay, that's a fairly incendiary title. And has some very heavy implications. So, what are some examples of this Bernie bro mob? Well, in the article, they cite two examples. First one left in response to a Facebook post from New Hampshire Senator Jeanne Shaheen. Now, Jeanne Shaheen is, of course, a Clinton supporter, Clinton surrogate. Now, she posted about going to a Clinton rally on her Facebook page that it was a great rally, right? Okay, great. Now, this comment said, I'm no longer voting for you. You should have supported someone with integrity instead of a lying shitbag like Hillary Rodham Clinton. Hashtag feel the burn." So that's your example of your sexist mob, right? Now, okay, lying shitbag, that's pretty bad. I wouldn't want to be called a lying shitbag, although I'm certain someone has. I'm sure someone out there has called me a lying shitbag, but nonetheless, I wouldn't want to be called that. That sucks. But is it misogynistic? I don't think so. Also note that the poster, Carol Jean Simpson, not actually a bro. It's a woman. Okay. So now let's go to the second example that this Mashable article had cited. Now, the second example originated with the New Yorker TV critic and Clinton supporter Emily Nussbaum. Now, Emily Nussbaum was called, and she claims that she was called, a psycho by the Feel the Burn crew after she praised Clinton. So she was called a psycho. Okay, psycho, not great. Is it misogynistic? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm sure plenty of people have called me crazy or a psycho. But Jeff, you don't get it. She's a woman. If you levy any sort of criticism at her, you're automatically misogynistic. Even if you call her a psycho. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, there's that. Now, after that, when she reported that actually, she ended up being cited by a lot of left-leaning media outlets. She even got cited by the BBC. Okay, look, as I said, psycho. Yeah, I'm not in favor, and please don't misunderstand me. I'm not in favor of calling people psychos or lying shitbags. I prefer discourse to remain sort of civil. And this is coming from a guy who, of course, calls people morons, idiots, dumbasses, okay, I've said a lot of terrible things, so maybe I'm not the best authority on this. But I guess when it comes to the Democratic side, since we're all dealing with facts here, and it's a primary contest, we should remain somewhat civil. I guess. And even if you don't buy that argument, I'll understand. But anyway, the BBC, of course, and a lot of other, a lot of liberal outlets, the Salon and stuff, cited that argument, right? And reported on it. But say, like the first example, there's an issue. Apparently the person who called her a psycho was reported to be a right-wing Tea Party supporter writing under a fake Twitter account of a GOP congressman that actually didn't exist. Wait. So this is like, hey, my mother's brother's uncle called someone this. And it was a guy he knew that actually said it. What are you talking about? What's this chain of events going on here? This is some pretty second, third, fourth hand information. A right-wing Tea Party supporter writing under a fake Twitter account that was supposed to be of a GOP congressman, but that GOP congressman, not real. So who is it? Who actually called her a psycho? And how is this a Bernie bro? I don't know. So here's your chain of events, right? And it was kind of broken down by Glenn Greenwald from The Intercept. 1. Wonkette's Kaylee Joy is citing the New Republic's Jameel Smith, who cited Mashable's Emily Cohn, who cited Emily Nussbaum, who credited to a Bernie bro, quote, from a Republican congressman's Twitter account that turns out not to actually be real or a congressman, but rather a random troll who created a character based on JD Boss Hogg from the Dukes of Hazzard. And then I'm sure there was a rainbow and a fucking unicorn in there somewhere. I don't know. But we do know that that rainbow unicorn is apparently a sexist. Somehow, somewhere, this was considered journalism. And now, of course, is evidence of a large part of Bernie Sanders' support somehow being incredibly misogynistic and sexist. Why don't we just chuck ethics and responsible journalism out the window while we're at it? That's essentially what they've done. And sadly, of course, this narrative, this Bernie bro narrative, has gotten so pervasive that Senator Sanders even had to weigh in on it on Sunday on CNN. Watch.
Have you heard about this phenomenon, Bernie bros, people who support you and sometimes attack in very crude and sexist ways?
I have heard about it.
Clinton
It's
supporters?
disgusting. Look, we don't want that crap. We can't, and we will do everything we can, and I think we have tried. Look, that anybody who is supporting me is doing sexist things we don't want them. I don't want them. That is not what this campaign is about.
Oh, he's right. He's right, of course. That's not what this campaign's about. No matter how much corporate media or left-leaning media wants it to be. And there are certain people who play up certain narratives. Now, I'm not saying that sexism isn't an important issue online. It's a huge problem, not only online, but in real life. You can't, if somebody came up to me and said sexism, it doesn't exist, I call them an idiot. There are plenty of examples of sexism in everyday life. You see it online all the time. And there's no doubt that there are people out there that are, of course, saying sexist and horrible things about Hillary Clinton and Jean Sheen, for example, as well, or even Emily Nussbaum. Okay? I don't doubt that at all. Sexism does happen a lot. So, I get it. However, when it comes to Sanders supporters and the whole narrative of the Bernie bro, it's not really a thing. And I'll point out why. I mean, for one, a lot of Sanders supporters support him because of the issue. And a lot of Sanders supporters are actually young women. This whole thing could be broken down not as a gender gap issue. The media loves to play the narrative that it's just a lot of young, white, liberal men who support Senator Sanders. It's not exactly true. Yes, there are a lot of white, young, liberal men that do support Senator Sanders. There's also a lot of young, white, liberal women and, people of color. Just young people in general that support Senator Sanders because of the policies. It's not playing gender identity politics. It's actually talking about policy because it turns out policy matters. Now, for example, how this is not a gender gap, but it actually is an age gap, and I'll give you some examples of this. Okay. Among young women, Senator Sanders is no doubt that he's crushing. In exit polls from just Iowa, 84% of women under 30 had said that they backed Senator Sanders. 84% of women under 30. Now, it's not just the young dreamers, right? the young people that don't know what's going on, right? There's also women aged 30 to 44, where Senator Sanders has actually had majority support. Now, it's a little bit more narrow. You have 58 to 37%. Now, the older you get, the more people start to support Hillary Clinton. She's actually very popular among the 45 to 64 and 69 plus age demographic. The older you get, the more you support Hillary Clinton. Now, there's another group that tends to trend older as well. I'm just going to leave that up to you to guess what that is. Now, when you talk about older women, right, in the age group of 45 to 64, Hillary Clinton beats Senator Sanders 58 to 35%. And, of course, women older than that, 69% to 26%, she wins with seniors. So, this isn't really a gender gap. This is very much an age gap. So to say that the majority of Sanders' support is among white liberal men who dislike Clinton or hate Clinton because she's a woman, that's not true. It's bullshit. It's a ginned-up media narrative in order to get clicks. It turns out that among young people of any gender, Sanders wins. Among older people of any gender, Hillary Clinton wins. Now, of course, that presents a little bit of a problem with Senator Sanders. Older people are much more reliable when it comes to voting. That's why it's very, 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 very important to stress that if you actually want to see this type of systemic change that Bernie Sanders is putting forward, as a young person, you got to get your ass out there. You got to get out to the polls. Do whatever you can and get out. Because when you get out, when you vote, you win. Very, very important. And I know, I don't want to be condescending, but there is that issue. You got to get out there. I'm going to get out there. And I'm going to get everybody I can to get out there. Us young people, we got to unite, man. We got to get out there and we got to show our support for Senator Sanders in the polls, where it really counts the most. Anyway, so once again, younger people, Senator Sanders, older people, Hillary Clinton, and that's how it broke down in Iowa. And I suspect that will continue to be the case in New Hampshire as well as some of the other states going forward. As far as the Bernie bro thing is concerned, it's a dead issue. It's debunked, and it shouldn't be brought up anymore. It's done.